in beautiful St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands, and we're looking at 3 indoor-outdoor living renovations, each done for $150,000.
Is this a porthole? Oh my gosh.
I'm Danielle Fenoy.
If I bring a buyer out here, they're going to feel like they're melting.
Get in the pool.
It's gonna be one.
And Realtor Jimmy Lane is helping me decide who's getting the biggest bang for your buck.
We are on the island of St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Our neighborhood is called Baccarat. It's an old established neighborhood.
And we're 5 minutes from the downtown area, so there's great restaurants, great shopping.
Well, the house had good bones when we looked at it when we bought it, but it was in really, really rough shape.
It was depressing.
It was gray, it was dingy, old tile on the floor. The kitchen was a disaster, not that I spent a lot of time in the kitchen. And now you walk in and we've got the
Beautiful travertine and all the glass and the beautiful windows and the backsplash. The lovely thing is I think now the house actually matches the view.
It's the only thing we didn't have to fix.
The shape of the house is just so unique. We've got a 6-sided house, 3 huge walls of windows. With the great room, we really wanted the kitchen to be the center of the great room. The highlight of the kitchen is our beautiful glass tile.
All these are custom made. The lady actually came down from Portland, Oregon, carried them with her and installed them.
I love the cathedral ceilings. I love the openness, the airiness. We did that in a beautiful white just to really get it that nice airy feeling.
For me, one of the most dramatic things we did was replacing all the doors and windows in the property. And not only was it the most dramatic, it was the most expensive.
And we wanted to continue the natural stone out here, so we actually brought in the coral stone from the Dominican Republic.
We put in the coral stone and refinished the pool, put some glass tile edging around the pool and on the steps leading into the pool. This is where we're entertaining. And it's absolutely a natural extension of the house. The view here, you can't beat it. And as I'm talking, we got one of our cruise ships coming in. It's a great backdrop.
Ready?
Sure.
We're ready.
All right, so this is not the typical Virgin Islands house I'm expecting to see.
We're not
It's
traditional.
not traditional at all.
More mid-century modern.
And I like it.
Good.
And I really like the colors they've chosen. Nothing is competing with that view, which is such a great decision. The soft blue, the white ceiling.
See my healing aloe. It worked.
Yes, the paint color.
They've combined the indoor and outdoor spaces. It all blends into one. You've got the great ocean, landscaping. Feels like you're outside right now.
That's why we bought the house.
That's what we bought, the view. Yeah, we knew we had to fix it up, but the view was going to stay the same.
All right, so we have a 6-sided house, which is pretty cool in itself, definitely unique. And what I love is that they've mirrored the shape of the house in the countertop, and it's really working.
But I never even thought of that shape mirroring the house. You know, I knew it had to be that shape because that's all the space we had for it. But you're right, it just flows real well. That's interesting she picked up on that.
Good.
That's about the only thing I'm really loving about the island. Countertop here is not working.
I think we're about to hear about the granite.
I think we are too.
These days, buyers are really expecting granite countertops, especially in the islands in this price range. I think this was a big mistake.
Yeah, well, we kind of knew that.
We knew it was coming.
Doesn't have to be granite, but a slab countertop, whether quartz, granite, marble, you name it, would have been a great decision here.
It was over $20,000, well over $20,000, and it was either that or the boys go to college.
It is very expensive to import things here to St. Thomas.
But I agree, I would have loved to have had a slab of granite there, but
Yeah.
we just couldn't afford it.
But they've had $150,000.
Right. And a good part of that, $5,000 they spent on this glass backsplash.
Don't mess with my backsplash, Jimmy. That was your project.
I would much rather spend the money on the countertop, solid surfacing, than that. It's interesting, it's unique, but again, very buyer specific, and I personally just not loving it.
Oh my goodness.
That was the fun part of the
That
project.
was
You gotta
the
have fun
whole
when you're
part.
doing this stuff.
All right, Jimmy, indoor, outdoor. This is what I'm talking about. Sliding glass all the way.
Yeah, I mean, this is the great concept.
What's he gonna
Always
find?
a however.
However, they didn't get the impact glass, which is hurricane resistant. So you have to get the shutters as well.
Hey, I want shutters. Even if I had impact glass, I'd still have shutters. You know, we've been through how many hurricanes in the 20 years we lived down
Exactly.
here? I want shutters.
It's pretty hot out here. I'm wondering if there's a little space for shade.
Yeah, it's really hot. I mean, some kind of a shade, some kind of a canopy or something would have been great.
Tree?
If I bring a buyer out here, they're going to feel like they're melting.
Get in the pool.
It's going to be warm.
Okay, but let's talk about this pool. I think it's absolutely beautiful, but how much did this cost?
They spent $25,000 on the tile and the resurfacing of this pool.
$25,000? What happened? I would have loved for them to spend less and get something simpler, cleaner. You don't even see it hardly.
The tile on that pool cost me a couple $100s. It wasn't a big investment. We had to rip it up because there were leaks in the pool. We had to put in new pool filters, new pool pumps, and the last thing you need is a pool that leaks.
Yeah, I do love the cable railings they put in here because they're really clean and they don't stop your eye. You just look at views everywhere.
Completely agree, but I am having an issue here. I could fall over here.
It's a 20-foot drop, but
It is.
we don't have little children.
It's beautiful. I love that the view is just right there for you to get and see, but it's just a safety hazard.
I agree.
There's no safety danger. You shouldn't be walking around the edge of the pool. You should be inside the pool enjoying it.
There you go.
Not loving the backsplash here. Definitely doesn't have to be this busy.
Okay.
But they could have made it a little bit better by painting it white and letting it disappear into the ceiling.
Why is Danielle looking at the fans when she's in the middle of paradise?
We're on the peninsula of Peterborg, and this is a neighborhood of Red Rock. All the houses are different, and they vary in sizes from little cottages to sizable mansions.
Before, the house was usable, but it wasn't exactly our taste.
Structurally, there were problems. It had terrible flow. I can go on, but it really needed to be helped.
And now it's just so comfortable. We maximize the views, we maximize the space, and it's just very livable.
The house stopped right here, and there were 2 sliding glass doors here and about a 5-foot deck here.
It's wonderful to be able to maximize our water views and also to see so many different islands, and that was really important to us. Well, we didn't do a lot in the kitchen. What we did was we replaced the old chipped porcelain sink with a stainless steel sink. We also used different cabinet fronts and hardware to give it a more updated look, as well as the backsplash here, the glass tile, we replaced that.
Initially, there was a pressure-treated painted wood deck that came to about here, and we ripped all that up. It needed some structural help, and replaced all the decking with Ipe that doesn't need to be stained or sealed in any way, and it holds up great in this environment. Originally, the pool was about 7 feet deep, so we filled the pool in and raised the bottom up. At the deepest point now, it's only about 5.5 feet.
To be able to be in a pool and to have this spectacular view, you feel like you're just so fortunate to be able to be here and to experience this.
Jimmy, I think I'm experiencing a first here in St. Thomas. My first foyer. It's fantastic.
Yeah, they actually added this. It's very rare in St. Thomas to have a foyer, so they bumped this space out and added this foyer, the closet, and this powder room.
Is this a porthole? Oh my gosh, that is so cute. So unique to the island. I love it.
It was cool she was getting it.
I think that's such a sweet little feature.
What else is unique is this powder room. You don't usually get this here, and this is a great selling feature.
And I like it.
Yeah, this will help sell this house a lot.
Yeah, it's kind of an obvious thing to add.
Let's talk about the money shot here. This fantastic view. We're talking again indoor-outdoor renovations, and this again is a good one.
I'm glad she's got good taste.
One thing my buyers are really asking about these days is impact glass It's hurricane resistant. They did not do that here. They went a little cheap on the doors and windows, and people really asked for that. So I think that might hurt them a little bit.
Wasn't in the budget, but we do have storm shutters.
That's right, that's right.
I must say, I love the seating arrangement. It's comfortable, it's casual, and it's modern.
No florals.
That's right.
No palm tree prints.
Yeah, you know, it's really hard to get the furnishings here, so they brought these in from Miami, and buyers are going to appreciate that.
Oh.
Cool.
Okay, so they have another successful, beautiful floor here in the kitchen. But I have to say, I would have loved for them to continue this marble all the way down on this platform.
She's right. That would have been a nicer detail.
It would have been much less maintenance and more beautiful from a design perspective.
She's right.
I agree.
Better detail.
Get busy.
I'm really through with this kind of granite. I've seen it just a little bit too much.
It was existing. I wasn't going to tear it out.
The homeowners didn't really care for it, but they didn't want to throw it away.
Not going to rip out granite here on the island since
Yeah.
it costs so much here.
Okay, then I hear you, and I would have done the same exact thing. Save the money and spend it elsewhere.
Yeah, and they did spend it elsewhere. They refaced all the cabinets, they put in new flooring, and they replaced the sink.
Gotta say, love the finish on the cabinets. Really different for the island, being that it's dark. Not loving the backsplash here.
Okay.
It doesn't work well with the countertops. It's a little bit too busy.
It is a little busy. That's all right.
Would have loved for them to do just a simple, maybe tonal whites and creams to pick up on the warm whites of the walls, but definitely doesn't have to be this busy.
I probably would pick something different.
I mean, you weren't down here then.
We're in trouble, Jimmy, because I don't see anything I don't like here. This is a beautiful outdoor space.
Yeah, they put in all this new Ipe decking. They spent $37,000 here. There was an old, dilapidated wood deck. This costs about twice as much as wood, but it lasts like 5 times longer.
This was a brilliant design decision, both aesthetically and functionally.
Kind of what?
Brilliant. They think you're brilliant. It's so great.
It wears well, it blends in with the landscape. They couldn't have made a better decision.
I like her.
And I love how they've brought it up and made it for the pool decking as well.
Danielle, they actually filled in the pool and made it more shallow.
Better than what it was there.
With a pool this size, it doesn't make sense that a pool would be that deep. So this was a great design decision.
I'm glad you got that right.
Come with me. Oh my gosh.
I think he's a little nervous.
This is insane.
Yeah, they actually cantilevered this out like 10 feet to look over this 200-foot drop down the Atlantic. But even I'm not scared because they have this great railing. It's high, and they put these cable wires in that kind of disappear.
That's one of the best things, I think, is the cable wire, because you can just have
And the breezes can flow through.
unobstructed views.
From a design perspective, this is dead on.
Right.
It's a win-win. I love it.
We're all in agreement on that one.
Yep.
Having a social table in the middle of your master bedroom is a little awkward.
She's from New York. What does she know?
They had the pool and outdoor area down to perfection. I'd give them an A. We're in St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands, looking at 3 stunning $150,000 indoor-outdoor living renovations. Our next homeowners wanted their islandy master suite to connect with nature.
We're in a neighborhood on the east end of St. Thomas called Estate Nazareth. It's such a varied neighborhood. There's not one house the same as the next.
Our house is actually made of stone, and it was actually created in 1963. But if you look at it, it looks like it's like brand new. Before we did the renovation on our house,
There were obstructions everywhere. It just had to be redone. It was just an eyesore.
you know, you weren't able to see out of the windows. You didn't have the great views.
And when we took over the house, we knocked everything down. And now we have a view wherever we go. It's like, why waste being on the beach and not being able to see it? This is our master suite. It basically was the way it is right now. We just dressed it up with new furnishings and reupholstering and new bedding.
This was a screened-in porch that was dirty, it was dingy, water got in, so what we ended up doing is converting it. And now when you look at it, you have beautiful picture windows that are outside looking at the Caribbean Sea, and now it opens everything up and you can actually see everything.
This was a part of the screened-in porch, and basically what was here was just pool equipment. So I thought the only thing this house is missing really is an exercise room.
To bring all the equipment in here was an effort because there is nothing on the island. Everything has to be brought in on containers. And it is staying with the house no matter where we go.
So we've been coming to St. Thomas for 25 years, and this is what the goal is, to have the Caribbean Sea at your doorstep. We were very fortunate that there wasn't that much to do, but adding some outdoor furniture and putting a railing down here so a child or a pet would not fall through. We have paradise downstairs also because we have our own private beach. And that's pretty unique. Not many houses have that. I feel like I have heaven in my backyard.
Here we go, anytime.
Wow, now this is an islandy master suite.
Yeah, I love the size of it. I think buyers are going to love this.
So, you know, St. Thomas has a bit of a traditional flair, and they have that eclectic traditionalism here in the furniture and the seating arrangements. I think it's fantastic.
Just because you're on the island, it doesn't mean you can have wicker all over the place. What
Yeah,
you're going to do is you
it
want to
is.
have classic island living.
Also, having windows on 3 sides is a plus for an indoor-outdoor space.
Yeah, the type of buyers that are purchasing here in the Virgin Islands are going to love that.
You're doing good.
But I'm having some issues in this area.
I don't know what they have a problem with that for.
Yeah, well, this was a dilapidated old screened-in porch, so this is definitely an improvement from what was here.
But this is an awkward seating area.
And we have drinks and
Oh, we have
cocktails,
drinks
and
and play cards.
we bring appetizers
What's the
in
problem
there.
with that?
It's wonderful.
Buyers would love to see a chaise lounge, a writing desk, but having a kind of social table in the middle of your master bedroom is a little awkward.
She's from New York. What does she know?
And I tell you what I can sell are these windows. These are hurricane impact glass windows. They're rated to 225 miles an hour. You really need that because we faced east here and the storms are coming right at us. You really save a lot of money on insurance, which really helps the buyers out.
Good, Jimmy.
All right, so we have our own personal gym.
Yeah, this was part of that old, dilapidated screen room that was here before.
I was not expecting this at all.
And it keeps my wife off the streets, running
That
around.
didn't sound good.
You know, Danielle, it's really hilly here. It's kind of dangerous to be on the streets. They're really narrow and lots of trucks. So this type of buyer is really going to appreciate this gym.
Yeah, that was very good. I'm impressed.
All right, so this is the epitome of indoor-outdoor living. I am loving it and loving this view.
Yep, you go right outside the door and right onto the deck.
Yeah, they didn't have to do a whole lot out here, but they did put these 8 ceiling fans in. These are $300 a piece.
I love it, but they could have made it a little bit better by painting it white and letting it disappear into the ceiling as opposed to distracting from that view.
Why is Danielle looking at the fans when she's in the middle of paradise?
This is island living. I don't care about that stuff. I want to sit right here and enjoy this perfect view.
Yeah, buyers are really going to love this.
Yeah, this is super comfortable, but gotta say, would have loved for this to have been teak with a more natural feel, which is more character of the island. As well, this does get hot, or at least warms up my margarita.
You hold on to
Right.
it. It's not even hot.
Now, one thing I think that buyers would really like is if this was more open. They have these chunky steel rails here. It really boxes in the space.
Yeah, I would have loved to see a thin metal cable that would have disappeared and let you really enjoy that perfect St. Thomas view.
You can still see the beautiful view. It doesn't block you at all.
Right.
So Danielle, this really sells itself. I mean, you've got these views from up here, these treetop views, but you have your access to your own private beach. You won't ever get both of those.
There you go.
And this beautiful landscaping, it's not fully mature yet. When it is, it's gonna be great.
Did a lot of
Did
landscaping.
a ton of landscaping.
Yeah, I might even show this house at night with the lights down the staircase and bring people in onto the beach. I think the house will be sold.
If I had the money, I'd buy it.
Oh, look at that. She finally got it.
So this has been really difficult, Jimmy. They had the pool and outdoor area down to perfection.
If you're wondering how to spend your money on an indoor-outdoor renovation here in St. Thomas, this is it.
So this has been really difficult, Jimmy. I mean, we've had to work in St. Thomas here in the U.S. Virgin Islands, and I don't think anyone's going to give us any sympathy.
Not a bit.
But let's tell them what we've looked at. 3 beautiful $150,000 indoor-outdoor renovations.
Danielle, the national average for an indoor-outdoor renovation is about 83%, but here in St. Thomas, it's a whopping 96%. Buyers are really willing to pay a premium for a turnkey home.
So let's talk about who's got the biggest bang for your buck.
Shelley and Rick.
That beautiful 6-sided house on that steep, steep hill. They had a really perfect balance between indoor-outdoor with the beautiful sliding doors. If I could change one thing, it'd be solid slab countertops all the way. Worth the investment. And I also think you gotta get shade on that outdoor space. It was just too hot.
How would you grade them?
You know, I really like that house. I'd give them a solid B+.
That's pretty good. Buyers are really going to love that floor plan, and overall, they get about 96% return on their investment, or about $144,000.
Wow, that's pretty good.
So pretty good. So let's talk about Kathy and Larry. They're the ones with the huge Ipe deck.
Yeah, I love the addition of the powder room and foyer area. That was great. Would have loved for them to wrap that tile stone around on the kitchen floor. Also, change the backsplash. It's just too busy and contradicts too much with the countertops. I'd give them an A.
Overall, they're going to get about 101% or $152,000.
I'm not surprised at all.
So let's talk about Randy and Mitch. That's the house at the pathway leading down to the beach.
Oh, that was so awesome. What I also loved, the traditional flavor of the house was really well done. I really want them to fix that railing though. It was just a little too heavy. Also, that awkward seating area in the bedroom could have been reworked. I'd give them an A-.
Now, overall, they're going to get about 95% return or about $142,500.
So that means Kathy and Larry get the biggest bang for your buck. They had the pool and outdoor area down to perfection.
If you're wondering how to spend your money on an indoor-outdoor renovation here in St. Thomas, this is it.
It's just so comfortable, livable for us. It fits our needs perfectly.
It really has become an extension of our personality, and it's comfort, it's home.
We had like a diamond in the rough, and now it's a gem.